construction workers once knocked down a wall and accidentally uncovered an underground temple that had been sealed off for nearly 2,000 years. Inside, everything was preserved in a way that felt almost unreal: detailed carvings, carefully designed chambers, and artifacts that revealed a hidden side of Roman life most people never see. Discoveries like this often spark wild ideas. When something looks advanced or unusually well crafted, it's easy to assume it must be beyond what ancient people could achieve. But the truth is, Roman engineering and artistry were already incredibly sophisticated. What feels impossible today often turns out to be a reminder of how skilled ancient civilizations really were. Now shift from ancient Rome to a quiet neighborhood in Los Angeles in 1978. A group of kids digging in a yard hit something strange. As they kept digging, they uncovered an entire sports car buried underground, a nearly perfect Ferrari. It turned out the car had been reported stolen years earlier. The owner had collected insurance money, and the car had been hidden on purpose, likely meant to be recovered later. Instead, a random discovery exposed the entire plan. Sometimes what's buried isn't ancient, it's just part of a modern mystery waiting to be uncovered. Back in Rome, another underground find revealed a secret religious world. Workers near an ancient chariot stadium discovered a hidden temple used by followers of Mithras, a mysterious cult from the Roman Empire. The space was carefully designed, with chambers, altars, and detailed carvings showing symbolic rituals. Because this group kept their practices secret, discoveries like this are one of the only ways historians can understand how they lived and worshipped. Not every strange discovery is man-made, though. In South Africa, miners once found perfectly round metal-like spheres embedded in rock billions of years old. At first glance, they looked artificial, almost like they had been manufactured. This led to theories about lost civilizations or even extraterrestrial involvement. But scientific analysis showed they formed naturally over immense periods of time through geological processes. Even when there's a logical explanation, some finds still feel mysterious. History also hides stories of survival and resistance. During World War II, people in occupied regions sometimes buried valuable or meaningful objects to keep them safe. In one case, a heavy church bell was secretly hidden underground to prevent it from being melted down for weapons. Decades later, it was rediscovered during construction work, still intact after generations. In Europe, buried objects from the war still appear regularly, sometimes far more dangerous. Construction teams often uncover unexploded bombs that never detonated. Even today, entire neighborhoods may need to be evacuated so experts can safely deal with them. The past, in some places, is literally still beneath the surface. Not all underground discoveries are historical in the traditional sense. In Paris, authorities once stumbled upon a fully equipped hidden cinema deep inside restricted tunnels beneath the city. It had seating, electricity, sound systems, even a small bar. When police returned to investigate further, everything had vanished, leaving behind only a warning message. Whoever built it had planned their disappearance just as carefully as its construction. Other finds are simply bizarre. In London, workers once discovered a grave containing not just human remains, but also the bones of a walrus, an animal that doesn't belong anywhere near that environment. Researchers believe it may have been used for scientific study before being buried, but the exact reason remains unclear. In San Francisco, entire ships from the 1800s are buried beneath the modern city. During the gold rush, vessels were abandoned as people rushed inland. Over time, the expanding city built right over them. Even today, construction projects occasionally uncover these ships, still preserved under layers of urban development. There have also been attempts to deliberately preserve the present for the future. In the 1950s, a brand new car was sealed in a vault as a time capsule, meant to be opened decades later. When it was finally unearthed, it had completely rusted due to water leakage. What was meant to be a perfect snapshot of the past became a lesson in how unpredictable time can be. Some discoveries come from digging deeper than ever before. Scientists once drilled the deepest hole in Earth's crust, reaching temperatures and conditions far beyond expectations. Along the way, they found surprising evidence about the planet's structure, including signs of water and microscopic life deep underground. And even now, new mysteries continue to appear. In Antarctica, researchers using advanced radar technology have detected large, structured formations buried deep beneath the ice. The shapes appear organized, almost like a city layout, but no one has confirmed what they really are. They could be natural formations shaped by ice and geological forces, or something far less expected. For now, the truth remains unknown. All of these stories point to the same idea. The ground beneath us is not just dirt and rock. It's a record of history, secrets, accidents, and sometimes pure coincidence. Whether it's ancient temples, hidden objects, or unexplained formations, there's always the possibility that something extraordinary is waiting just below the surface. And the deeper we look, the stranger things seem to get. Beneath layers of earth, ice, and stone, time doesn't just pass, it gets preserved. Entire moments, frozen exactly as they were, waiting silently for someone to uncover them. And sometimes, what we find doesn't just answer questions, it creates new ones. Take deep underground exploration. When scientists drilled into the Earth's crust in one of the most ambitious experiments ever attempted, they weren't searching for treasure or lost civilizations. They simply wanted to understand what lies beneath the surface. But as they pushed deeper, the conditions became more extreme than anyone expected. Temperatures rose far beyond predictions, rock behaved in unusual ways, and traces of ancient microscopic life were found where none were thought possible. It forced scientists to rethink what they knew about the planet's interior. It's a reminder that even in places we believe we understand, there are still surprises waiting. Now shift to one of the most isolated places on Earth, Antarctica. Beneath kilometers of ice, hidden from view for thousands, even millions of years, something unusual has been detected. Using advanced radar imaging, researchers identified large structures buried deep below the surface. The shapes appear organized, arched formations, wide open spaces, even patterns that resemble streets or corridors. At first glance, it looks almost artificial. But that's where things get complicated. Nature is capable of forming incredibly complex patterns, especially under extreme conditions like shifting ice, pressure, and subglacial water flow. What looks like design can sometimes be the result of natural forces acting over vast periods of time. Still, the symmetry and scale of these formations have left scientists cautious. No one is jumping to conclusions, but no one is dismissing it either. For now, it remains one of those mysteries sitting right on the edge between explanation and speculation. And that edge is where many underground discoveries live. Because when something is buried long enough, context disappears. Objects lose their story. All that remains is the physical evidence, and our attempt to interpret it. Sometimes we get it right. Other times, we fill the gaps with imagination. That's how myths begin. Perfectly round stones become impossible artifacts. Natural formations become lost cities. Ancient craftsmanship becomes technology beyond its time.